Hey everybody, Ben here from DMC Films and Cinderblock Studios. I'm here today to tell you about a brand new project I'm starting that you guys can be involved in yourself. So before I get way too ahead of myself, let me backtrack a couple of years. Actually, it's almost 3 now, to sketchbook number 7, which I did in the beginning of 2014. In the back of this sketchbook, I wrote an outline for a story called Kingdom of the Wind. It's basically 6 little headers and events that happen throughout the course of this story. And I'm like, this would be a really fun short story to write. And then I put it in my sketchbook, and of course it went on the shelf. And I haven't thought about it for almost 3 years. So why was I suddenly thinking about it again? Well, I'm not really sure, to be honest, but suddenly it hit me. I remember this story. This was fun. Mostly because I was really imagining a complex world that this story could exist in. So I was like, okay, maybe I'll make a piece, just you know, a single painting to show this. And I'm like, you know what, that's boring. I want to do a project that encompasses more than one painting. I want to take sort of this idea of the Kingdom of the Wind project and expand it out to sort of its own series of drawings, sketches, paintings, whatever I feel like putting into this project. I think that's what I want to do with it. So I started thinking, how do I turn this into a project? Well, I was thinking back to a book I picked up not too long ago called The Skillful Huntsman. Now this book was 3 students who went to Art Center, and their professor, a guy by the name of Scott Robertson. He's actually got a channel here on YouTube, which is how I found out about the book in the first place. And what they did is they took the Grimm Brothers tale, The Skillful Huntsman, and did a sort of visual development project for it, and basically created everything from sketches to a handful of finished pieces, using the old fairy tale, but sort of interpreting it in almost sort of a cyberpunk era visual style. I thought that was really, really cool. So I thought maybe I can do a similar thing for Kingdom of the Wind, and that's sort of what I decided. I'm going to do a personal project that's big and encompasses a lot of different things, and do it around Kingdom of the Wind, and just do this little visual development project. And I started doing some sketches for it recently too, and I'm really liking the way things are, my process for it is going about. But the more I think about it, the more I want to do more and more and more with this project. So I was like, okay, well, I definitely want to write a short story for this. I think that's going to be really important. It's probably only going to be maybe, I would say, 3 to 5 pages, single-spaced in Microsoft Word. But it's just something to get a quick little story across. So before I get even into this design segments, I want to just say, what is the story? What is this? What is Kingdom of the Wind? What is the story about? It's nothing special. It's nothing, I would say, new or super original. It's a simple coming-of-age story about a young prince that gets lost on a snowy mountaintop with his father. His father dies, and he takes refuge at a neighboring kingdom on the other side of the mountains. He stays there for a little bit, and then a traveling merchant kind of comes through, informs him that the kingdom he had left is sort of in crisis. So he has to muster the courage with the help of some elemental spirits and work his way back to his kingdom in order to overthrow sort of a dark lord that has sort of taken the throne. And of course, you know, it helps. He gets help from both old friends as well as new along the way. So that's sort of the basis of this story. And again, it's nothing. It's nothing crazy. It's just going to be a short, relatively short story, sort of almost a fairy tale, so to speak. But I really want to go through and design some of the items. There's a quartz crystal and an amber ring, in particular. There's the characters themselves. I don't have really any idea of what they would look like, as well as just some very distinct idea of interesting landscapes and places that exist in this story. And that's really what the Kingdom of the Wind visual development project is really about. So I mentioned at the very beginning that you guys can get involved in this project too. And that's when the idea that just came to me today, it hit me on how I can just transform this project and just take it to that next level. So rather than making this a personal visual development project, I'm going to make this a community visual development project. So rather than just doing everything myself, because I know I probably couldn't, I'm going to open up this story and this concept to all of you. I'm not a character designer. I'm not a prop designer. I'm not a weapons designer. I'm not a concept artist. I'm a fine art painter, so I don't know a ton of stuff about all the stuff I want to put into this. So I'm going to open things up to you guys, the community here on YouTube. I'm going to post this to DeviantArt eventually, and really allow you guys to contribute to this project. But what do you get for contributing to this project? Well, I was thinking about that. I was like, okay, well, I did my free How to Draw ebook last year, and that seemed to go pretty well. I released it just for free on my website. And I think it would be cool to compile all this stuff just in a downloadable, I almost said free, downloadable PDF file. It's not going to be free. It'll be $5 whenever the project does finally get compiled. And I'm looking to bring that up on a Gumroad account. So it'll be easily accessible, and the payments will go through nice and simple without me having to worry about it. Additionally, I've started a new page on my website called the Projects page, where this will link out to eventually the Gumroad page when the project is done, but also kind of help me track my progress and really kind of show you guys what the project is about, and it'll be sort of a hub for the project itself. So this is just sort of the announcement video, but there is another upcoming video in this project that will be very important as well, and that is when I release the official Kingdom of the Wind dev kit. Now this, when I get the story written, which shouldn't take too long, when I have it written, and a friend of mine hopefully will look it over for some like spelling and grammar and things like that. So you'll get the story, you'll get a handful of sketches that I've already done, and you'll get sort of a chart that lists places, the people, and like the objects that I want designed for the project. And that will that'll be released for free, and this will be the little development kit that anyone can download and anyone can contribute to this project. I want to make note that if you're a beginner, maybe you're not so good at drawing, don't feel like you can't contribute to this project. Because I feel like if your idea is strong enough, and if it resonates with me in such a way that I'm like, this is really close to what I was thinking, then I'll work with you to really develop that idea, and we'll do it in collaboration. Now, in submitting to this project, again, this is a little bit, a couple months out still, but if you submit to this project, I will compile not just my work, but your work as well in the official, we'll call it a book, release for Kingdom of the Wind. And all of our work together will exist in this sort of single community project, doing this little VizDev project. And for me, this is sort of my way to do a Kickstarter project without a Kickstarter. You're not paying me money up front. You're basically sharing it and liking it if you're really interested, perhaps contributing to this project and really just kind of helping it spread. I'm not dependent on anyone helping me on this project, but I thought it'd be really fun to just open it up and let anybody work on this that wants to. I don't have a deadline for myself. If you've been following this channel for a while, or if you even followed me last year when I released the book was like a month or two late. So I don't want to give myself any hard deadlines for this, but realistically, I'm looking about a 6 to 8 month time frame on this project. It'd be enough time to give me enough resources to do some sketches, maybe some paintings, even some digital work as well. That's actually another thing I want to bring up, is that don't think that this is a digital design project. If you work in clay and do sculptures, you can be a part of this project. If all you do is sit and doodle in your sketchbook, you can be a part of this project. Don't feel like you have to be professional to submit to this. So that's a lot of info. Let me wrap things up. First, I'm going to be writing a short story called Kingdom of the Wind. It's a simple coming-of-age story about a young prince. Second, I'm taking this story and doing a small visual development or viz dev project for this, and including you guys as well, so you can contribute to the project, make some art, and hopefully get some of your stuff out there into the world. Actually, if you're somebody who's looking for a good way to get some pieces into maybe a concept art portfolio, this would be a good project for you. Third, in maybe about a month or two, I'm going to release the development kit for this project, so you guys can start working on stuff and submitting at least stuff that actually is tuned to the story. But don't feel like you have to wait for the dev kit to start working. Feel free to start thinking of ideas, maybe do some little sketches. And when I release the story, you guys will be able to sort of maybe refine those ideas and have them work into the project itself. And finally, the end goal of this is to produce an actual, not a physical copy, but something in a package on your computer that you can download and view for your own inspiration and to fuel your own creativity. I really want this project to be something that is inspiring, not just to look at, but also to work on. And even when the project launches and it becomes a $5 download, it's going to be something that I really want people to continue to contribute to over the course of time. So again, stick around, stay subscribed to this channel for more Kingdom of the Wind stuff. Head over to my website, cinderblockstudios.com/projects to learn more about this as it unfolds. And this has been from DMC Films and Cinderblock Studios. See you guys next time.